Welcome, first of all, if you're hanging out with us. This is episode 87 MCFD Thursday Night Live, man. This is just to bring you number 87 is nothing short of extraordinary. And let me tell you why. I got a very special friend, is a good soul, extraordinary salon leader, Instagram guru on steroids, Miss Chelle Neff, Urban Betty Hair Salon, Austin, Texas. First of all, give it up for her. Hanging out with us tonight. I know, Cassie, it is 87. I want to qualify her before we bring her on, because the story is nothing short of extraordinary. And you can see just a beautiful soul, right? Just to the 10th power. So let me tell you a little bit about her, and then I'm going to bring her on and let her tell you about her. Back end of 30-something, front end of 40-something, graduates hair school 95. 1995 to 2005, she's struggling to find, like a lot of us, the right fit. 05, she opens her Urban Betty Salon with 5 independent stylists, renters. 2011, she moves to this new 3,400 square foot dream salon, right? And begins to build a staff of 10 blended. Growth was going really good, 30%, and then the infamous, walkout. All of a sudden, the dream's a nightmare, and she goes from 11 people to 5 with 16 chairs to fill. She's hanging on from 2011 to 14, and she begins the introduction to social media. And, the rest is history. From then, it's like, she decides that she's going to switch to commission, full commission. That's after going to Summit in 2014, and that's a big kaboom. She credits a lot of it to a good soul, and I know him, a good friend, Frank Hobson of RDA. And in 2017, you got to hear this now, you guys, $2.5 million, 30-plus people, double shift. It's called, to the end. Look at the track record. 2005, sales at 160, 2006, 228, 2008, $500,000, 2011, 877,000. That's when she flips over to social media. 2012, she pops to 1.12. 2014, 1.45. 2015, almost cracks 2 million. 2016, she just blows right through $1 million to 2.2 million. And in 2017, she's trending to hit $2.5 million. I think you guys got to give it up. Freaking believable. But this is the best part of the whole deal. You got to hear this. And if it's going on out there, I'll tell you what, I haven't gotten it yet. In 2014, her W-2 average income is $30,000. Actually, she would say it's just under $30,000. In 2017, this year, her average stylist is going to have a W-2 of $80,000. That's the average stylist. And I've actually interviewed a couple of them. Maddie was on the show a couple of months or so ago. I think she's probably going to do 120 grand this year. Katie West was a week or so ago, and she's like just blowing it out. And she's even saying tonight she's bragging on her boss big time. So that's the story. And I want to bring her on, because when I bring her on, well, first of all, before I bring her on, I want to make sure that you get on her pages, because when you start going on the salon's Instagram, Facebook page, is nothing short of out of the park. So she's, urbanbetty.com website. She launches that in 2002 because she wants to share photos. This is 2002 now. This is way, way before. Heck, mobile devices came out in 2008, 2009. So she's a woman that's ahead of her time. Instagram business page, over 35,000 followers. Facebook business page, 8,760. Urban Betty Salon is Instagram. And Urban Betty at Urban Betty Salon on Facebook. So, and she's going to talk a little bit more about that. And of course, all of her people, her social media philosophy is nothing short of extraordinary. So, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get off of this, because I want her to really tell the story, and then I'm going to have her come back and give some of her social media tips. There she is, Chelle. Give it up for Chelle, will you guys? How did you get into the biz, and and get to where you are now?
So I got into the biz. I'm from Abilene, Texas, which isn't very big, and I came from, a family who couldn't afford to send me to college, and I thought, well, what am I going to do? And there was a cosmetology program in the high school, and I thought, well, this is my chance. I've always loved doing hair, from my dolls to Barbie dolls, whatever. And so I enrolled in high school beauty school in 93. And so from 93 to 95, I went half day, and I worked a part-time job as well. And that's how I got into the beauty industry.
So you choose at 18, and now you're I think your first 10 years you're in it, and then somewhere around 2005 you take the big leap into ownership with Urban Betty.
Yeah, I was the ripe old age of 27, about to be 28. And ignorance is bliss. I thank God I didn't know everything that was going to unfold, because it probably would have scared me away. But yeah, I took the plunge, and when I opened, it was only me by myself for the very first week. And then a week later, I had one contractor join me. And then a month later, another person. And then after about a year, we had 5 people. And so it slowly but surely built up. But let me tell you, about the first 2 months, I was there every single day doing hair 6 days a week. I was the receptionist. I ordered all the products. I did the cleaning. I mean, I didn't have an assistant until about 6 months in, because I was about to collapse. So I put in the hard work, and it's definitely paid off.
And somewhere in there, you're moving into blended, and
Yeah.
then what was the year that you had the infamous, the setback, where you go from, what was it, 16 to whatever that number was? It's a salon owner's worst fear.
Yeah, it was definitely it was a blessing in disguise. Again, I was moving. We had grown and grown, and we were bursting at the seams, and so we moved into a space that was twice the size. And about 2 weeks into that, 2 girls let me know that they were opening their own salon, and they were taking 3 of my stylists with them. And so I sent them off with love. Because that's what you do. At the end of the day, I don't want to make enemies. I want to support other people. I don't want to ever hurt anyone, because it was my dream to open a salon. So I wanted to give them that love. And they were all booth renters, and it only left me with one. So as I struggled, and I literally lived that first year off of a tax return that I got for expanding my business and friends loaning me money. But I'm glad it happened in the end. It was really tough, but it all worked out for the better.
So you're building, and somewhere in this story, Frank Hobson, the Red RDA guy, he comes, he tells you about the Summit story, and that's extraordinary. Catch us up to that piece.
Well, I love that, because the universe kept hinting to me to bring Summit on, and I was just, I don't know. And Frank came in and said, I just want you to go for a couple days to New York and just see what this is all about. And I thought, all right, I'll go check it out. And I went for 2 days. And when I went just to the preview, this wasn't even actually the summit, everything that you guys said clicked for me. It finally made sense. I had never heard things broken down into such detail that hit home for me, and made me feel like I wasn't stupid for not having money, that this is what happens to everyone,
Yeah.
But we're going to show you a better way. And then when I actually went to Summit, which was, I think, in Tacoma, and it was 4 days long, I went to Summit with negative $2,000 in my salon bank account.
Oh, yeah, you told me, and that's important to hear. So you're down in the negative cash flow, $2,000, and I think Frank was graceful and gracious and helped support that journey for you.
He helped us get there and do that. I could almost cry. So thank you, Frank, because I really thought, this might be it for me. I might close. I don't spinning my wheels here, and I don't know how to make this better, because I had expanded into, and we were doing well. But when you have a salon that's so big, the expenses and the costs outweigh the revenue. Right. And I had to learn how to fix that. I had taken a few business classes, but again, not enough. And it hit home. And I can tell you, within 3 months, I was $50,000 positive in my bank account. After just ending business coach visit.
Now, so I really want to make sure that the world hears this. So you go there, 2,000 in the red, you know, 1 foot in the grave, the other one on a roller skate, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally exhausted. And then you come home, and what did you say? Was it 60 days, three months later? What was that window of time?
It was about 3 months by the beginning of the new year, because it was around September when we went, and then our first business coach visit came in November, and they showed us how to restructure our entire pricing list. We were pricing everything with package deals, and they were like, "What are you doing? This is crazy. You need to do everything a la carte." And that was a godsend.
And then how much money was that? You dropped it, and I want to make sure they heard that.
Oh, when I went to Summit, I was negative $2,000 in the bank, and by January, I was positive 50 grand.
So in that, what is it, 4 or 5 months window from -2 to positive 50. I mean, I don't know, Chelle. I think that qualifies for like a miracle, you know. And your coach, because when I spoke with your people, they speak, first of all, they speak highly of you. And your coach, and you speak highly of the Summit coach. And for the world, who is this person that helped you to get going?
It was Michaela and Leah was her. So we had Michaela and Leah. Then we had Leah for the first year, and now we've had Michaela for the past 2 years.
All right. So thank you to both those people, and I know both of them. And Michaela's very much in the game. She's one of my favorites. She's one of I watch her and I learn from her. So God bless Michaela. Now, before we get into the social thing, in a nutshell, where are you going from here? I mean, you're at 2.5 million. And by the way, I want you to talk just a little bit. How did your people get to an average W-2 in 2017 of $80,000? Because I'm going to call Guinness Book of World Records when I'm done with this damn interview.
Yeah. So I'll start with how it all evolved. So I've always been a big believer in having a digital presence. And I mean, I even met my husband on Twitter, so if that tells you anything. So I put money into Yelp, into Google AdWords, into Facebook, and we get a ton of clients, and that's great. Getting a ton of clients is a good thing, but if you don't know how to manage that properly, you're going to be negative $2,000. So we had to learn how to manage that properly. And with that, what we do is my stylists meet with my managers. I have 2 awesome, amazing managers, Kim and Hallie, shout out to them. And they go over with them every month their service dollars, their retail, their pre-booking, their retention, and their referral. And when you monitor those things and you're aware of them, it's amazing what you can do when you're cognizant of where you're at and how to grow. And they grow by levels. And it's interesting because there's always like a friendly competition in the salon as well. So just by being aware of it, you can take care of it. I think my manager Kim made that up, or you did, Michael. I'm not sure, but I love that saying. And that is how they've hit this average W-2 of $80,000. It's just knowing their numbers and knowing what it takes to get to where they want to be. We can actually map that out for them at the salon.
As you know, I've interviewed 2 of your people, Maddie and Katie, and they basically said to me the essence of the same thing. I sit down with my coach, and now you're part of the social media side, and then Kim, who I just love, she's now a Summit coach. They say things like, they did the money for me, they helped me with the money until I learned to do the money and really didn't do that, and we could talk about other things. And they're talking about anything from helping me to see how much money it's going to cost me to just pay my bills and then figure out how that translates to a magic day number. I think it was Maddie as well as Michaela was talking about magic day stuff. And then they helped me with the planning until I could plan myself. And then you're coming in now with coaching to social media, which is a brand new methodology. And I think the combination of all that, your culture, and a couple of social media tips that I want you to talk about, I think that's what is getting your people to 80,000 W-2 this year. And Lord knows where this is going to be next year. So in the few minutes that we have left, walk us through, I think you have like 5 or 6 bullet points on tips or guidelines, because you give your people some creative latitude to use social media. Talk about that.
I want all of the people that work for me to have Facebook fan pages. I want them to have Instagram pages, because if they get business, we get business. I'm never in competition with the people that work for me. The more the merrier, like bring it on. And so I really encourage them to do that. And I encourage them to, one of the things is I share their own work through the salon's page. And so I post 3 times a day. I really make it a habit of posting. And what I post is their content. And I have them tag the salon as a person. And that way I can grab from it. So I don't have to constantly look at everyone's page and see what they're doing. I just look at how many photos I've been tagged in as a person, or the salon has been tagged in, and I repost those onto our page. And there's a few other things that go with it, like hashtags and the layout looking beautiful. There's, a lot of the aesthetics and the math that goes behind it. But I really want people to see the work that's coming from our salon. And we get, 20%, I feel like, of our clients that come in each day at least say they've heard of us through Instagram.
Yeah, and what I love about this conversation is there's a lot of salon owners that are quote, concerned about their brand or their branding. And I think the combination of you coaching your people on social media and the trust that you have, the mutual regard, and I love what you said. Anytime they're posting on their business pages, they're tagging the salon, or the guest is tagging the salon, so that content is showing up. And at the end of the day, the subjective question with are they or are they not enhancing the brand, all you need to do is look at openings in the number of appointments being booked, and the biggie is W2, because it strips all the opinion out of it.
Yeah.
So, where do you go from here, Chelle Neff? Like, you're at this place now. What's next for Chelle?
So, I actually, just because of all this social media and all the things that I've learned, because I never turned down an opportunity for education, and I've learned a lot through taking social media classes and through Redken Symposium social media classes. I've actually launched my own set of classes called Betty Bootcamp for Instagram. And as well as I'm opening a second location, which is going to be this spring, and we'd love to have you there, Michael.
I'm on your calendar. You're on my radar, so it's not a question of if. It's just that's one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to 2018, hanging out with your peeps.
Yeah.
So we're running out of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to thank you for coming. We're going to give it up for you, and then I'm going to take the viewers the PowerPoint slides that we prepared and kind of tell them what you told them, so that this is a best practice. And I'm going to encourage the viewer, especially if they're a Summit salon owner, to really listen to this conversation, because I think you're on the cutting edge. If somebody's saying, I really don't know how to, that fine line and allowing my people to be creative with social media and yet watching out for the integrity of my brand, you seem to be doing an extraordinary job of that. So keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
All right, give it up one more time for Miss Chelle Neff. Her tips was all stylists manage their own personal page, meaning that, and I've had 2 of them on the show. Katie West was a week ago or so, and then Maddie Longbody. Maddie's going to do 120 grand this year. I think Katie, in her first year, she's trending 75 or 80. And that all of the content is their work, and they own it. But the cultural norm is to tag the salon, so that content shows up on the Instagram page, and then they celebrate by posting the selections to the salon page. Now, the other thing she didn't mention, I want to make sure you get, is that there's an enormous amount of cross-mentoring going on. In other words, if somebody is, 19, 20, 21, and they're crushing it on social, and you got somebody that really has been around for a while, but they're on the pre-social or the standard, the conventional way, they sit down and they're coaching and mentoring each other to help them get through the whole handheld digital social media learning curve, because I'll tell you, it can be daunting. She continues to nurture them, and in the coaching, she does the social media part, and then Kim, who I know, she's a Summit Salon coach, does the level jumps and the rebooks and the referrals and the RTS, the add-ons and the standard conventional stuff. So I think those two coachings together, in combination with helping people figure out how much they need to make behind the chair in order to live a great life, I think all of that collectively is what really makes it work for her. So like I said, tonight was just a great conversation with Shelley. So if you're new to us, I'm going to encourage you to continue to hang out with us, and one way of doing that is Michael Cole OTT. That's the page you're on now. So you're going to want to like that. You're going to save that, because we blog daily. We have slogans daily. We do Facebook Live frequently. And of course, this show now has become the main stage with number 87. And then if you want to hang out with us also on Instagram, it's Michael Cole BGTD, as in boom goes the dynamite. And then also make darn sure that you go to summitsalon.com and spend a lot of time navigating that website. You can hit /products. It shows you all of the resources that we use to coach service providers on to get them and keep them on track, from a tracking app to a day planner, which kind of links up their day goal to their W-2 goal, to looking at windows of time, from upselling guests that are on the front end of the window to looking at windows of time tomorrow, the day after, this week, this month, and to see how many of those windows of time that we can fill with social media. I mean, all you need to really do is / on summitsalon.com /MC Live and watch all of the videos. This is number, I believe, 87. Go to 86, 85, 84, 83. Go as far back, because that's going to catch you up indeed to where we are. So, and don't forget to download our tracking app. And that tracking app will help you to see the results you're getting from it, as well as we now have a page called summitsalon.com /calcs, as in calculators, and it really shows you how to set your annual W-2 goals to your service and retail goals. It breaks it down to the month, the week, the day, so that we can begin planning the day to hit that. So we've got this thing down. And if you're a Summit Salon, you know I'm preaching to the choir. If you're new to Summit, I would encourage you to get together with either your salon-centric or your sales consultant or your state RDA distributor sales consultant, and have them come in and have them bring one of our coaches in for a complimentary scorecard, because you're going to see, if what happens to other people happens to you, that Summit is very worthwhile to consider as the next stage in your life. So there you have it. I always love to end with gratitude, and these are our sponsors, L'Oreal PPD, from the Kerastase, L'Oreal Professional, Matrix Purology, Redken, Mazzani Shoe. I mean, it goes on, as well as our distribution arm, Salon Centric, and State RDA as well. So excellent program. Thanks for hanging out with us. We will be back next Thursday for show number 88, and I think we're going to keep this up. And what I love about tonight is Chelle is a salon owner as well as the hairdresser and the coach. So great night, and we'll see you next week.